Yo, what's going on, y'all? This your boy Casey Field with the Casey Field Wrestling Takes. Here to give you my thoughts on this go home show for All Out. This week's AEW episode. This was a pretty decent episode. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be truthful. I feel like they've done better episodes, especially when it comes to the go home show. But it was a pretty good episode. I got 3 issues with this show, and I'll tell you about it as we get to it. But let's go ahead and start it off. So we start off with Proud and Powerful and the Best Friends. Now, as Proud and Powerful was coming out, they was interrupted by the Best Friends. The Best Friends came out right behind them and started beating the brakes off them. So they match didn't even start for probably about a good 5 to 10 minutes because they was outside the ring beating snot out of each other. And there was a scene outside the ring where Chuck and T was building up these chairs. And normally in wrestling, if you build a trap, 9 out of 10 times you're going through that trap. I knew he built all them chairs for absolutely no reason because he called himself building the trap for one of the members of Proud and Powerful, and he ended up going through that. So he pretty much was knocked out. So we begin with Trent Beretta and Santana in the ring. So the match finally started. They was going at it, and Trent kept looking out, and Chuck E. T was basically knocked out, and he was doing everything in his power to try to get the victory. And so then Santana and Ortiz is doing, like, let me tell y'all something. Proud and Powerful is very entertaining tag team group because they always doing crazy stuff. You know how Ortiz randomly says the best out of nowhere, but they was actually putting in work for this match. So finally, Chucky wakes up, gets in the match, and they always just taking turns knocking each other out. One person get knocked out, then the other person get in the ring. So what ends the match is Santana is outside the ring. He goes under the ring and gets this little thing that he turns as a baton. He whacks Trent Beretta in the back, and they do the move on him. Proud and Powerful get the victory. There you have it. It was a pretty good match. Like I said, they wanted to get us hype for the opener. They did what they had to do. So we cut to MJF in the back, pretty much saying he's going to walk out All Out as your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. As he's trying to cut his promo, one of his proteges, Mr. Big Shorty Lee, cuts him off and says that the Mark Sterling ain't wrestling tonight and that he's somewhere hiding. Well, MJF and how he gets down was pretty much treating Lee, talking about, bruh, you need to move out of my way because I ain't got time for this foolishness. So he goes knock on the door. They bust in the door. Mark sitting up in there looking like a scaredy cat, talking about he ain't fighting MJF. And he said this. He told him, well, if you don't want to face MJF, you're gonna have to face the animal that's me. Now, which one do you want to face? They cussed him out and everything. He was yelling at him. So after that, we get the 8-man stipulation, 8-man tag team stipulation match. So this was SCU, Private Party versus the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. The winning team of this match will get a spot at All Out. Now, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This match was pretty good. I can't stand 8-man tag team matches. AEW needs to chill on these 8-man tag team matches because we get it way too much. We get it over and over and over, and I know why they do it. They do it because they want to try to get everybody on the card. You do not have to have everybody on the show. You don't. I'm telling you. AEW's tag team division is so stacked that they feel like we got to have everybody on the show. You don't. You can take time featuring different tag teams every other week. You don't have to have 6-man tags. You don't have to have 8-man, 10-man, 12. You don't have to do that. You can take your time having other tag team matches every other week. You don't have to try to fit everybody in the same match every week. That's when we get drawn out. You get tired of the 8-man tag team match. You're like, you know what, man, I'll pass on this match. But this match was pretty good because it was basically everybody paying attention. You had to pay attention because whoever won, that team will end up facing each other. So we kick it off. We had the Young Bucks in the ring versus SCU. So we started off, and every time it came to Young Bucks going to tag in any of the members of Jurassic Express, they kept tagging each other in. They wasn't tagging the Jurassic Express in. So it was almost like they avoiding them on purpose. Meanwhile, SCU and Private Party was working hand in hand. And this was a very good match because you got 4 good tag teams that was doing everything in their power to put each other over. And I like that. And but we ended up getting the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express getting the pin on, I think Mark Quam was the one that took the pinfall, if I'm not mistaken, for Private Party. And y'all know I'm a huge Private Party mark, but you know they don't want to do no Private Party ever since they got over in their very first episode. I'll keep getting on their case about that. But we're going to get Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks been acting very cocky as of late. I don't know what's going on with them. But I can tell you this, the end of the Elite is coming to a close. Because like I said, first Cody got his behind beat up 2 weeks ago. Heyman is out of his mind. He don't know what to do with himself. The Young Bucks are confused as heck. And Kenny Omega is just doing his own thing. So like I said, the Elite, I think we're sending the last days of the Elite as we know it. So let's see. So next we cut to Jake Hager knocking on Orange Cassidy's room. He busts the door down, goes in the room, sits down next to him, and tells him that you have been invited to Chris Jericho's match against Joey Janela tonight, and this is not this is optional. This is mandatory. He pretty much said he demands your presence at the match. So he pretty much told him like this is a threat. Like you better get your behind out there tonight, or else. So after that, we cut to Tully Blanchard talking to FTR, and they pretty much cut a promo, pretty much saying what they getting ready to do this weekend at All Out. They are walking out with them, the AEW Tag Team Champions. They gave nothing but respect to Hangman and Omega, but they said they would gladly take them titles off their hands come this Saturday. Tully said, I brought you in because I thought you guys was the best, and I'm here to continue to train you guys and push you guys even more because you guys will be having gold over your shoulders at the end of Saturday night. That's what they made. That was their decree. So soon after that, you got Tony Schiavone. He calls out Kenny Omega to address exactly what they said. Now, Kenny Omega standing out there trying to somewhat get his thoughts together because Heyman has been acting weird. Now, they're the tag team champions. Heyman doesn't actually know exactly what's going on because he feel like he's been betrayed by everybody. FTR don't want to be tight with him because all they want is his titles. The Young Bucks kicked him out the group, and he don't know exactly what's going on with Kenny Omega. So he feel like his head is just all over the place. He's like, man, what the heck do I do? So Kenny Omega up there talking about he respects FTR and all this stuff, but Hangman Page is gonna be him. Those two are gonna be on one accord when it comes to Saturday night because they're gonna retain those AEW titles. So as he's talking, Tully and FTR come walking out. And as they're walking out, they cutting a promo on him talking about, yeah, you say whatever you want, but we already told you what's about to pop off. And by the way, you out here by yourself. Where the heck is Hangman? Hangman's out here nowhere in sight. We didn't trick that man. We got into his head. And like, what are you guys going to do? But we're here to bake a toast with you. And since we know you don't drink, here's the chocolate milk. Because they know that's what he liked. He liked to drink milk all the time. So they gave him the chocolate milk. And as he was about to open it, he said, as much as I appreciate this, I know I drink chocolate milk all the time. I'm not finna sit up here and toast with you dicks. That's exactly what they call it. And they bleeped the word dicks out. I don't know why, because they let everything else slide by. But they bleeped the word dicks out. So as soon as he said that, here come Hangman Page walking out looking all confused and everything. Looking sad, confused. Like he just don't even know what the heck is. I'm telling you, he just looked lost. He's like a lost puppy right now. Hangman Page is a lost puppy. This is why this tag team match right here is the best story going in AEW. Out of all the storylines that we have, this is the best storyline, hands down. This is why I said AEW is a place for tag team wrestling because they take tag team wrestling serious. So he finally gets in the ring. I don't know if it was Dax or Cash. One of them said, we got into his head. Look at him. He don't know what he's doing. And as he kept saying that, then Kenny and Hangman started arguing with each other. And they said, bro, look, what's the heck is going on? So Hangman ended up getting out the ring. Or was it Kenny? One of them ended up getting out the ring and walking off. And so we pretty much left FTR in the ring standing there just looking like, hey, this is all we needed to do. Because see, at the end of the day, Cass was playing mind games. This whole situation is mind games. It comes back to the mind games when it comes to storylines like this. So at the end of the day, we already know what's about to pop off for Saturday night. And I'll give you my prediction video as soon as I'm done with this review. So soon after we get through that promo, we got Alice Morera in the back talking with Jericho. And Chris Jericho is up here putting over Orange Cassidy, pretty much saying I made that dude a star. This dude, he, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be cutting promos. He wouldn't be having these outstanding matches. I'm the one that made him into a star, and I'm the one that's going to break him with this Mimosa Mayhem match on Saturday night. So after that, he goes on to face George Janela. This match was basically one-sided the whole time. George Janela really didn't do nothing. He was pretty much out there just to be out there. And Chris Jericho beat him up. And Orange Cassidy did come out there. And as Orange Cassidy was sitting out, Orange Cassidy looked like he was bored out of his mind. Like, he just kept looking around, looking like he was ready to fall asleep, didn't want to do anything. And I was like, man, I said, you know what? You have to always pay attention to the little stuff. The little stuff is what keeps you interested with a whole lot of these matches and storylines is going on. So, as the match finishes, because you already know Chris Jericho was going to win, he started beating the brakes off of George Janela even more. He said, Orange, this is what's going to happen to you. And he took the turnbuckles off, pretty much threw that man into it. I think he even busted him open and said, like I said, this is what's going to happen to you. So, Orange tries to get up in the ring, tries to do a little something. He gets laid out. And then Sonny Kiss comes out the woodwork just to get spine busted by Jake Hager. So then it gives time for Orange Cassidy to try to do, he did some kind of DDT on Chris Jericho, but then they was able to escape. So Orange Cassidy was left standing strong. Both of them was left standing strong. So I really don't know who's going to win this match, y'all. I'm going to give y'all my prediction on that when I do my predictions video. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see what's going to pop off. So next, we got Samuel Guerrero coming out, pretty much trying to troll Matt Hardy as he always does. He got those goofy cue cards. And from the cue cards that I caught, he said, last week, you witnessed the destruction of a legend. And then next thing you know, they cut to Matt Hardy sitting up there. Matt Hardy pretty much said, he responds with him and says, Sammy will be broken on Saturday night because they're going to have a broken rules match at All Out. So, like I said, I know that match is going to tear the house down. I'm really excited about that match. So then, we get the storyline going for the All Out Casino Battle Royale. I'm going to be honest with y'all, I really don't like all these Battle Royales. These Battle Royales really, they don't do nothing for me. But I did like the promos that they gave. So we had Taz and his boys come out, and he cutting the promo on Darby Allin and Lance Archer. Then Jake comes out, cutting the promo on him. Then Eddie Kingston and his crew come out. So all three of them is cutting promo talking about how everybody in their group is going to end up winning. Only one man can win. So not everybody can win. So it's pretty much every man for himself. So as everybody's cutting, taking shots at one another and all that junk, then as the typical, everybody starts beating the snot at each other. I'm like, that's what they always do. It's like we seen this over and over. I see this on WWE. I see this in AEW. It's like, it's the typical. It's like, okay, I got to beat the brakes off of everybody. I'm like, it's different ways you can do this. Like I said, the promos is good. I liked it because you got all three great talkers. You got Taz, a great talker. Jake Snake is a great talker. And Eddie Kingston, he's a great talker himself. So the promo part, I didn't have a problem with that. The promo part was great. I just had a problem with the typical, okay, now let's beat the snot out of each other because that's all we know. And you see it all the time. It's like, boom. So here we go again. It's the typical. Let's beat the snot out of each other, So, let's see. So next, we get the women's match. Now, I had a serious problem with a certain somebody who was absent. Because, y'all, this match was good. I never seen this young lady, Thunder Rosa, wrestle. And I never seen the Serena Deeb girl wrestle. Those ladies put on a great match. And I have a very serious problem with why the heck Akira Shida was out there. At least y'all could have cut, because I think JR mentioned that she was watching. Well, why didn't y'all cut to the back to show that you was tuning in? Because, see, that made me think like she really has no respect for Thunder. You would think she would have respect. Like, okay, let me come out here to observe this young lady because I never wrestled her before. So let me see exactly where let me take notes on her. So I know exactly what to do. Like when she throws a certain shot at me, when she tries to do a certain move, let me be out here watching. She was nowhere in sight. I said, come on, y'all. Come on, AEW. I was like, you would think Sheeta would be on the go-home show. She was nowhere in sight. Nowhere. I say, what is this? Like, this is your main AEW women's title, and she ain't nowhere in sight. I'm like, come on, y'all. They let me down with that. I was like, The ladies did a great job. That was a great women's match. I'm serious. That was a great women's match. The Serena the Deeb girl, I hope they sign her. She was good. And the same thing with Thunder Rosa girl. She was very good too. I just was wondering where the clown was she at. I'm like, man, yo, you got to be out there. Oh, and um, I sent out my condolences to this young man named Casey something. I don't know who he was, but apparently this dude was very big in the wrestling industry. He was very big in the wrestling community because a lot of people knew him. And obviously he was a real fan of the ladies wrestling. Like he wanted the women's wrestling to be pushed just as hard as the men's wrestling. This young man passed away at the age of 26. That's young, y'all. That's very young. And my condolences goes out to his family and friends and everybody who was connected with him. So, like I said, it was definitely a huge loss in the wrestling community. Like I said, I didn't know who this young man was, but like I said, my thoughts and prayers are with his family during this time. And like I said, but I was really wondering where the clown was she at. Like, yo, where the heck is my girl she at? She show us, like, if she's not going to be out there, let it be watching. So she could be like, okay, I got respect for her, but I almost feel like she ain't got no respect. So, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So, we get to Moxley cutting a promo on MJF. They pretty much telling him, well, you got what you wanted, but your guy is going to have to defeat me. If he doesn't defeat me, it's not going to work. So Moxley cut a good promo on MJF, but he was pretty much talking to his lawyer, the Mark Sterling guy. And like I said, telling him, like, you better beat me. Because if you don't beat me, you know what I'm saying? So then we cut to Tony Schiavone talking to Big Swole. And Big Swole cuts a great promo talking about she about to beat the brakes off a brick in a tooth and nail match. I never heard of that in my life. I don't know what the heck a tooth and nail match is. But the part that got me where I was like, oh no. The match is going to be on the pre-show, y'all. I said, oh my goodness. I said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this beef that's been built over several months is going to be featured on the pre-show, on the buy-in? I say, man, I'm like, I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about that, man. Cause I was expecting this to be on the main event, on the card. I wasn't expecting this to be on the pre-show. But then I got a couple of cats who's hardcore AEW heads. This basically what they said. The fact that Britt is not 100%, and the fact that Big Swole. Now Big Swole is good, but like I said, Big Swole could use some work in the ring. So a lot of people thinking that the match won't be as good. So you figure you put it on the pre-show. This way, it's like a warm-up for Britt to come back. You know what I'm saying? So as she's talking, I already knew it was. Here come Rebel dressed up like some pizza girl. And Tony Schiavone's like, we didn't order no pizza. And talk about, here's the pizza for Tony Schiavone and Big Swole. She's like, girl, I know it's it. And as soon as she said, you ain't fooling nobody, here come a healed up Dr. Bitbreaker whacking her in the back with a doggone crutch and start beating the snot out of Swole. I was like, I was like, interesting, because usually when it comes to wrestling, normally whoever's winning gets laid out. So the fact that Swole won the previous week, then she gets laid out on here. And not only did she get laid out, they actually beat her up and actually put her braids in the pizza, so messing up her hair. And then what they did was she took some of the pizza and she did her submission move, which is called the lock jaw, and she had the pizza in her mouth at the same exact time. And I was sitting there and I was wondering to myself, I was sitting up saying to myself, I said, I said, that's very interesting, because the fact that Big Swole beat her team last week, then she gets the upper on this one. Is Swole going to win on All Out? I don't know, because I had Britt winning. I'm serious. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Shoot, but like I said, I'm devastated that the match is not going to be on the main show. But I get why it's not gonna be on the main show. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me they've been building to this and it's gonna be on pre-show? I don't know about that one, but it is what it is. So we get to the main event, and the main event, y'all. Outside of what happened after the main event, the Mark Sterling clown, man, dude was just in there just to he was just in there just to get beat up. He didn't do nothing. In and out of the match, running all over the place. Moxley let him get a couple of hits in, but Moxley does a paradigm shift, gets the victory. Now, the stipulation was he had to beat Moxley in order for MJF to get the match, but obviously they just threw that in trash. They just went against the rules, and he still gets his match. So after the match, Wardlow hops in the ring, lays him out, beats the brakes off of him, and then MJF comes out, and now it's a handicap match. It's 1-on-2. They just beating the snot out of him, and then Wardlow pulls MJF's diamond ring out of his pocket. MJF lays him out, knocks him out with the ring, busts him wide open, starts yelling at the camera, talk about some, this is what you want? The violence? Haha, you're mad? This is it? You know how MJF, typical dick, clown, evil man, heel. You know what I'm saying? So, beats the snot out of him, busts him wide open. Moxley just looked like a beaten man, beaten to a bloody pulp. And MJF is standing tall he wipes some of his blood on his face. He wipes the blood on the title. And he's standing with his foot on his neck, holding the title up. Now, man, AEW, I got to give them the props because they always make you not know. Even when stuff happens, they still make you guess on who's going to win at the pay-per-view. Because you see one outcome and then something else happens. Now, the predictable is, like I said about Big Swole and Britt situation, if whoever is the one that's standing tall normally ends up losing, AEW can go a completely different route. That's what makes them good about how they do things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, overall, this was a good go-home show. I've seen better. Like I said, I think they've done better. You know what I'm saying? Certain things, I gave you my complaints on certain things that I didn't like. But overall, it was a pretty good show. Like I said, I'm excited about All Out. I can't wait to come on here and give you my full review of All Out. I'm going to do my preview video. I'm going to do my preview video next. Because I was actually going to do the preview video connected with this. But I'm going to do my preview video afterwards. So you're going to get my preview video right after this. So, whatever, man. You know, I'm asking you guys, did you like the show? Was this a good show? Are you like me and say it was a good show, but you felt like you seen better? Are you excited about All Out? If you're not excited about All Out, let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. It's your boy KCFL signing out. I like